Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and we'll unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. And in this week's episode, we are going to be talking about how to quieten down the noise. And what I'm talking about is like the noise inside your head when you're trying to run your business. Let's imagine then that you get up and you've got your intentions for the day. You're fully set, you're ready. You're like, yes, it's going to be a good day. I know what my goal is. I'm going to achieve it. Maybe you take the kids to school and then you come back and you're like, okay, let's do this. And then you find yourself on Instagram and you start scrolling, and before you know it, an hour has passed. And then these sort of thoughts come into your mind of self-doubt and this lack mindset, this self-doubt, this cloud of it's like the complete opposite of clarity. If you find yourself feeling that, then this is the episode for you. And it's so easy to find yourself in this place. I recently had a conversation with one of my Powerhouse Portal clients. She's absolutely incredible. She's doing amazingly in her business. But recently, a couple of weeks ago, we had a conversation around this. And it happens. It can happen so easily where you just lose this feeling of self-trust, and you end up giving your power away. And so, there are infinite strategies that can help you to grow, scale your business, but without cultivating this self-trust, you just end up feeling lost, uncertain, and unsure. And I always talk about the fact that you can only ever be into energies. And there's different ways to describe this. So I'll describe them all because I'm sure you'll resonate with one or another. So you can have the energy of possibilities, an abundance mindset, growth mindset. You don't need to see external evidence to trust yourself and trust that you are on the right track and all of that. That's the right way to be, right? That's how you get to create what you see in your mind's eye. That's how you just up level and do away with the upper limits and just get there. And that is where your heart is open, okay? That's where you are open to receive. And the opposite of that, and this is where you'll find yourself if you're struggling, asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? The opposite of that is this fear-based energy. It's a contraction energy rather than an expansion one. And it can happen to the best of us, where you just suddenly find yourself in a victim mindset or stuck in lack and scarcity. And the sooner we realize we're in that, the sooner we want to bounce out of it. Okay. So when we're in that energy, we end up looking outside of ourselves for the answers. And that is ultimately giving your power away. The answer always comes from within. Always. Okay. And when you can cultivate that trust and that groundedness to just be able to shut out the noise and listen and follow your intuition, that's where your expansion and your next levels come in. And the Higher Self System episode that I released recently will help you. If you've not listened to that, I would recommend going to listen to that episode as well. And also very, very soon, in the next few days, I have a free PDF training that goes along with the Higher Self System. So watch this space. It will be available soon. But yeah, when we're in that energy, we want to get out of it as soon as possible. So and the reason why, obviously, is because your energy matters so much. We are energy, and we are vibrating on a frequency and we're getting more of that. We're constantly manifesting, right? We're not just manifesting when we get something that we have visualized and dreamed about. No, we are always manifesting. And I'm going a little bit off track there, so I will get right back on track. So yeah, we want to get that momentum. We want you not to lose your spark, because when you do, when you start doubting yourself, you can be so quickly consumed by this I'm not good enough feeling, and then that's quite hard to bounce back from. So here are my top tips to avoid this energy slump, and also to help you turn it around if and when it does happen. And these are based around the becoming a match process that I have. This is a framework that I teach inside Powerhouse Portal, and it gets the subconscious on board so that you can be the energetic match for the person who achieves the goal that you want to achieve. So before I actually share the framework, I just want to give you a few journaling questions to help you get some clarity. Because yeah, without the clarity, we cannot get the breakthrough. Without the clarity, we cannot change, right? We can't get that desired goal. And all change comes from within. So if we want to up level our reality, our external reality, in the way of, for example, hitting a new goal, then we need to become the person who does that, the person who thinks that way, the person who achieves that. Like, it's literally the only way. It comes from within. So this process that I'm going to share with you supports you to break through any upper limit that we will experience if we're stuck. I'm talking about an income goal, but this can be any type of goal. But very, very often, if you're stuck at an income goal, well, always, generally, if you're stuck there and you're not going through it, you're not breaking through it, you've got this upper limit. And that upper limit is because your subconscious doesn't feel safe for you to break through it. So all the things that I'm going to share, these journaling questions, and then the process is all like, it's about helping you to not lose that energy slump. But the wider picture, the wider perspective is to support you to move through an up level. Okay. So yeah, the tips are around the framework to help you avoid the energy slumps. But the energy slumps are actually a symptom of being at an upper limit. Because let's say if you set a target to reach a new goal, let's say you set it at the beginning of the month and you're fired up, you've got momentum, it's going well, and then halfway into the month or whenever you start to falter and question and doubt yourself, you end up not following through. This is actually just the subconscious sabotaging you, okay? Because your subconscious is always looking for the evidence of what you believe to be true. So if the subconscious doesn't feel safe for you to achieve that level that you really want, then it's going to get you to sabotage. It's so, so sneaky. So it doesn't feel safe for you to achieve that goal. So it's not going to let you continue in that fired up momentum, that energy build, that building of energy that it takes to create that. You will not follow through because the subconscious doesn't feel safe. So in order for you to break through this upper limit, we have to be able to hold the energy and follow through. Continue showing up as the energetic match. Continue with the behaviors and the thoughts and the beliefs and the traits that the person who is an energetic match for your goal has. Okay? And the subconscious is so sneaky. So being aware of your own patterns of behaviors when you are trying to reach a new level is so, so important. So I'd love for you to just reflect for a moment. Does this cloud of self-doubt and energy slump happen to you when you want to up level? What does it look like for you? What does self-sabotage look like for you? And if so, if you've experienced that cloud of self-doubt and energy slump, then this episode, or what I'm about to share, is what I want you to do. And I don't want you to wait for it to happen again. We want to be proactive and be the person that is already achieving that income goal, right? We create that change from within. So first of all, we want to get clarity. And by doing journaling, I'm going to give you some journaling questions in a minute. And journaling is so, so powerful to get things out of your subconscious and actually onto paper. It brings you that clarity. You cannot move forwards without clarity. So, if you're listening to this episode whilst you're out on a walk or whatever, absolutely fine. Just let this wash over you, but do set yourself do come back with pen and paper and actually journal on these questions. They will move you forwards. They will give you clarity. So, question number 1, what stories, beliefs, traits, and characteristics do I need to replace to become an energetic match for my goal? Next one, why do I want my goal? And this is really important, okay? We want, and this is not just a one-off journaling piece. I want you actually to connect into your purpose daily. Because the energy of someone who is connected to their mission and their why, like, why are you doing what you're doing? If you're listening to this podcast, you have a calling, right? You're not just doing it to make a quick buck. You feel this calling. Like, this is the whole reason why this whole podcast is called Bigger Than You, because the thing that you are lit up about bringing to this world is bigger than you. So if you can connect into that why and that purpose daily, your energy is far more potent than when we don't connect into that and we're lost in the doing. Okay, so easy to do, but if we connect back into that on a daily basis, it's expansion, it's connection. You remember, right? You're not just mindlessly do. You are connected. Next question. If I know what gets to happen today has no relation to what happened yesterday or the day before, what actions would I choose today? And if you don't ask this question every day, you are taking action from the version of you that hasn't yet got what you want. Okay, I'll say that again. If you do not ask this question, you are going to be taking action from the version of you that hasn't yet got what you want. So we're talking about a clean slate every day. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past, but I'm connected to my mission and I know what my goal is and I know the person and I know the traits, the beliefs, the characteristics and the behaviors that that person has. So what actions do I choose for myself today? Okay, next question. How will I get support? And this is such a powerful question because your relationship to support is directly related to your capacity to receive money. The reason is the root of virtually all the work that I do with my clients, and it's worthiness. It's at the root of everything. And if you want to understand this a little bit more deeply, I will leave the link in the show notes for my training, Blind Spots. It helps you to uncover what is holding you back in your business. And worthiness is, like I say, is literally at the root of everything that I do with my clients, no matter what they're trying to work on, what the resistance is. It's about getting them subconsciously to believe that they are infinitely worthy. And the reason that they're in a place where subconsciously they don't believe that they're worthy is because of the things that blah, 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 the things that have happened in their life, the experiences that they've had and what they've made those experiences mean, that's formed a limiting belief that I'm not worthy or I'm not worthy unless. Okay, so when we change that programming to I am infinitely worthy of abundance and whatever I desire, and to get that with ease, not struggle, not self-sacrifice, then that is what the subconscious is working from. Okay, so you get to feel like your subconscious gets to feel safe for you to achieve whatever you want with ease rather than struggle, rather than without, delay, and you feel infinitely worthy just because you are alive. Like, that's it. We're all worthy. And if we don't feel worthy, it's purely because of the things we've experienced that we then get to heal from. This work is so incredibly powerful. Like, it's literally, I believe, the most powerful work you can do as an entrepreneur. Because if your subconscious doesn't feel safe to be on board with the things that you want to achieve, then it's just going to hold you back. Okay, so this question, how will I get support? If you can work on that, if you can ask yourself daily, how can I lean into being more supported? And notice the resistance that comes up when you're stopping yourself from getting that support. And that's going to move you forwards. Because when you notice that resistance and move through it, and despite any feelings of being uncomfortable, you know that your next level you, the version of you that's an energetic match for what you want to achieve, would move through that resistance and allow themselves to be supported. Then you are in alignment with where you are going, not where you've come from. And the clients who work with me that get the best results are always the ones who lean into the support, like really fully, deeply lean into the support. When the going is good, when it's fine, when it gets tough, at all times, they allow themselves to absolutely soak it up and basically really get their money's worth. I am so happy to support. Like, I am living the dream doing this work. I love it. It's what I love to do. And I love seeing my clients win and get the results. And so, of course, it makes so much sense for them to lean into more and more, lean into allowing themselves to be more fully supported, because it's a win-win. So clients, I know you're listening, you all listen to my podcast, know that the more you allow yourself to be supported, the more I am loving my work, because I know that you're going to win more when you allow yourself to be even more supported. So, as I said before, then, if you haven't got these journaling questions written down, that's totally fine. Just come back to them and make sure that you do journal on them. Okay. I'll just say them all together, stop you kind of going through. So if you're coming back with your pen and paper, your questions are: question 1, what stories, beliefs, traits, and characteristics do I need to replace to become an energetic match for my goal? Question 2, why do I want my goal? And that's a question for you to connect back into daily. Question 3, if I know that what gets to happen today has no relation to what happened yesterday or the day before, what actions would I choose for myself today? And question 4, how will I lean in to being more supported today? Or how can I lean in to being more supported? So, now we've got that clarity from that journaling, I'm going to actually give you some actionable steps to take to avoid getting into this what am I doing wrong energy, this stuck, stagnant, I'm not good enough energy. Okay. And a lot of this comes from paying too much attention to what's going on externally, giving your power away, basically. And as a lot of you are online business owners, the online space can seep into your space way too much. Okay. So it's about getting back your power and being intentional about your choices. It's about being very mindful about your scroll time. Get intentional about it. Scrolling for 5 minutes when you are in a good energy and being proactive is very different to finding yourself on your phone, doom scrolling for no reason other than to distract yourself from feelings. And if you find yourself doing this, stop. Like, no judgment at all, right? If you've listened to more than one of these episodes, you know that I always share about cultivating that relationship with yourself. It's the most important one. So as you're doing this work and you're implementing these tips, it's always from a place of absolute self-love, no judgment whatsoever. But when you notice that you are stuck in a doom scroll, ask yourself, what is the feeling that I am stopping myself from feeling by being here scrolling? Okay. And I would love to share with you, if you've not come across it yet, my bounce back from scarcity meditation. If you've got that favorited on your toolbar, or like I don't know how you do it on your phone, but like a little shortcut on your phone, it's a 5-minute meditation that you can literally stop that scarcity or that lack or whatever those heavy feelings are. You can stop them in their tracks, and you have it, like, this is what I would recommend, you have it favorited on your toolbar so that you can listen to that whenever you notice that feeling. It's a 5-minute meditation that I've recorded to catch you in those moments and cut out any spiraling. So it will get you out of a lack mindset. It'll get you back to being connected, open heart, back in your own power energy. So if you haven't got that meditation yet, I will leave it in the show notes. And if you're watching this on Instagram Live, just head to the highlight. There's a link in there for you. Right, number 2 is to actually curate your social media feed. Okay, it feels like a very basic tip, but I want to say it because if you've not heard it, or if you've heard it but not implemented it, then it can be an absolute game changer for you, because it's your feed, right? And if you don't intentionally choose what you're available for seeing and what energies you're allowing yourself to be in contact with, then you are wide open to self-sabotage with the "what am I doing wrong? I'm not good enough" type thoughts. So take a moment, like plan this into your day, like 15, 20 minutes to go through your feed and mute or unfollow everybody that either triggers you or doesn't add value. It's not about just muting and unfollowing people that trigger you. It's about mindfully doing this process of looking at your social media feed and curating it. If it doesn't add value to you, then what's it doing there? Take ownership of it. And then you get to have a feed that supports you rather than drains you, right? It's your energy. You've got to be in this, like, I'm so worthy energy. That's what you would be in if you were reaching your next level goal. So all of your actions, all of your thoughts, all of your behaviors want to come from this place of, I'm infinitely worthy. So of course I'm going to have a social media feed that adds value to my life. I'm not available for not feeling good enough when I'm scrolling on my own Instagram feed. No. Point number 3 is to plan your days ahead of time. Okay, if you know what your goal is and you're connected to your mission that's going to get you to that goal, then there is a gap from the person that you are being now that has created the reality that you have now and where you're going. So you really want to be mindful and intentional about what it's going to take to be at that level, to be an energetic match. So plan your days ahead of time. Like, do whatever works for you. I like to plan ahead. I like to review my day, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I like to review my day and then plan ahead so that when I get up in the morning, I know what I'm going to be doing and I'm intentional about it. So yeah, get in alignment with the energy of the person that you are becoming and what would she or he be doing, and time block those tasks. You want to have the energy underneath those tasks as non-negotiable, right? If you know that it needs doing, then time block it in like an appointment, like a client. Okay. And then you're sending a very clear message to your subconscious that this is important and this is going to get done at 10 o'clock. And I know it's going to take about an hour. So I'm going to schedule in my calendar a 10 until 11 appointment. And then you can do the whole supporting your inner child with the reward, the thing that you're going to do once you've done that, because your brain is looking for the dopamine. So if you don't supply it in a healthy, intentional way with, I am going to put on my favorite song, this is a go-to of mine, put on a really high vibe song and go down and empty the dishwasher, 2 birds, 1 stone, doing something for the house, but I'm also playing a high vibe song or putting the washing out on the line, whatever it is. Not exactly like game-changing tasks, like dopamine giving things, but having a high vibe song is enough for me. Like this is automatic for me now. Okay, so plan your day ahead of time block your tasks, and this is the bit that I'm talking about reviewing. At the end of each day, I want you to review the day. So get in mind again, before you review this task, get in the energy of the version of the person that you're becoming that's an energetic match for those goals, and review, how did you do today? What went well? What thoughts and behaviors did you do that weren't a match? Okay, so you're reflecting, you're reviewing, and you are looking to improve, again, from a place of ultimate self-compassion. But when you review that every single day, you're recognizing what's going well, giving that message to the subconscious that this is great. It feels safe to do this. It feels safe to show up as an energetic match for the person that I'm becoming. But then you're also reviewing what behaviors are not yet in alignment with who I'm becoming? And how can I be proactive about not letting those behaviors in tomorrow? This last step is really, really key, because when you are trying to reach that new goal, you need to claim it, but you also need to be super intentional about your behaviors. And without really closely reviewing this, you will unconsciously sabotage back to the behaviors, thoughts, and traits that got you to where you're at now. Okay? It's that classic saying of what got you here won't get you there. So by getting really, really conscious about your action taking, your daily action taking, that's how you're going to bridge the gap from where you are now to the person who reaches the new goal. And I'll say it again, support is key, okay? Because when you are challenged or when there's resistance coming up, what happens next matters, and it matters a lot. So how can you allow yourself to be supported in those moments? And to give more context to that, I'm aware of time and I don't want to be cut off. To give more context about the support and what to do there, go and listen to the Higher Self System episode. And I think by the time this podcast episode goes live, we will have the Higher Self System PDF available. I'm so excited for it. So if it's available, I will drop it in the show notes along with all the other things that I have mentioned. So if this episode has landed with you today, I'm so pleased. And do allow yourself, if there's lots that's come up, allow yourself to listen to it more than once. Things land differently at different times. And of course, if it's hit home to the point where you'd like to hear more information about what that would look like for us to work together so that you can collapse your timeline and reach your next level much faster by getting like the subconscious reprogramming to get your subconscious on board. That's what I'm talking about, collapsing your timeline and having that deep and intuitive mindset support to bring you through any resistance so that you're collapsing your timeline consciously and subconsciously. If that sounds like something that you would like to find out more about, click on the application form in the show notes and I will be in touch. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to being in your world next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.